new era begin. On behalf of the centralized each nation in the world, we're thinking about each nation has a unique history, culture, and environment that connects with each country. Since World War II ended, in which the imperialism stopped and Cold Era began. And nowadays, and then the relationship between countries are much more complicated. Recently, I've been experiencing an 80-year ceremony in China and Vietnam. Also in Korea and India, it is same Independence Day, August 15, in which means the end of World War II. Many countries can got independence and then started a new world. According to the imperialism, it might be historically very long history. The big countries or powerful country can dominate the other place to getting economic benefit. Sometimes it happens not only country but also West Indies, just like companies or a group of people who gotta manage it and then benefit by imperialism. It happened in colonialism at the same time. When I see 80-year ceremony in China and Vietnam, and then it's quite a bit different from China and Vietnam. And China will fight with Japan. In the end, then two atomic bombs dropped into Nagasaki and Hiroshima in Japan. At the moment, uh, Hirohito, the emperor in Japan, announced unconditional surrender. That means the end of the war and then the independence from the colonialism. Before Japan surrendered, the Union Army, then Italy and Germany almost surrender and then the stop the war and new world begin. Since the war the ended, so and then between China and Japan, the battle ended because Japan lost the war all area from China to Southeast Asia. Then they retreated, and China became independent. China got and then won the war because they surrendered. And after that, and China go for went for the civil war in for a long time. In Vietnam, it's quite different. Unlikely in Korea, in Vietnam is Indochina, the colonialism in France, the French imperial dominated in Vietnam or Indochina. At the moment that the area era of colonialism in France and then as much imperialism after revolution, French Revolution. So in uh, almost 100 year colonized by uh, France, Vietnam got much more severe colonialism. So and then when they declared the independence after the end of the war, then French got lost their power because French also invaded by German army and French totally German army occupied France and even the government should be avoided to from the France. So France actually lost their power during the World War II. Then the effect of the power of countries uh, affected Vietnam got independence. After the independence of Vietnam, and French didn't want to live in Vietnam, but in Ban Ban Phu, the French lost the war, and Vietnam army defeated the French. So and uh, in Vietnam also they got independence from the French army. And newly East Asia has a same history, and the early colonized, early early industrialized country, Japan, followed like Britain or other countries, and Japan occupied 대한제국, then 대한제국 lost their country by occupied Japan for 36 years, 35 years. After uh, then, and the Korea independent from Japan and divided by two, south and north. Each the cold era made Korea in Peninsula, Korean Peninsula, Korea divided into two countries. In fact, Vietnam also same divided into from south and north. Simply, the East Asia have a saying, and China went to civilization. The weak country can affected by a powerful country who got hegemony. Anyway, so that historical background will go same. So and since 1945, the national identities started. So and then the meaning of the end of World War II is very important. It's the end of imperialism that started with the United Nations or the victory countries and or lost countries and new era for the countries. Now and then I think between East Asian country have a historical background. These are some similar and the others not the same. So and it's very unique. What I want to talk about here, and then uh, it's very important uh, in history, the end of World War II and started the independence of many countries, especially uh, in East Asia and also South Asia, all the area, because the end of colonialism is a big, it's the birth of nations began. Now I'm interested in the centralized nations, in which country is the center of the world. So, and then new era of the world in new technology with AI. And then can people think about their history and culture and background of the world, and then we can understand about each country in terms of the view of each country. So, and then we are living history is not the same. History is different each country. Now I talk about the meaningful uh, ceremony since 1945, and then the world is much more wider and then unique and starting now, and then we can figure out each country has affected by the end of World War II. Korea also for 80 years, and then Korean War industrialized, and then still staying uh, two south and north region in Korean Peninsula, and China also uh, dominate in East Asia, and Vietnam also got independent and wanted to develop each country. Other country also still um, progressive their development in history.